And as the province launches that online booking system, cases, unfortunately, are slowly beginning to rise yet again. Ryan Imgrund is a COVID biostatistician, joins me now with where we stand in this fight. Ryan, good morning to you.
And good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining again. This is the last thing that anyone wants to hear. We keep on hearing that this third wave is inevitable. When you track these numbers, how close are we from this happening?
Yeah, so we are certainly in a third wave right now, 100%. You cannot deny it. Many regions are significantly into that third wave. I think the big thing that we need to keep in mind is that even though the wave is here, it doesn't mean that it has to be a large third wave, but we're definitely seeing the start of the wave. We've seen numbers go up since about February 15th. We've seen a significant upward trend, and we're still seeing that now.
I know you provided us a heat map. If we could pull up that graphic for you, and you've broken down when it comes to age groups, we're seeing an increase in cases across the board.
Yeah, so what we've seen since about halfway through February is we saw first the younger population drive cases, and then it slowly started to spread to the older population. And as you can see, for the last 2 weeks, we have seen increased case counts in every single age group from 0 through 99.
So is this indicative of what we're seeing in the school settings?
Well, that started the increase for sure. That's what we've seen all the time. We see like cases in one age group typically drive things. What we saw this past summer is that it was the 20 through 39-year-old age group which actually drove cases. Now it seemed it was the 0 through 19 group, and schools may have something to do with that.
Ryan, where's your biggest concern lying right now as you look at all these numbers?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I'm most worried about is the fact that we're seeing some areas with huge case counts. Sudbury, for instance, there's a very huge variant population there, where the variant strain is absolutely huge, and we're seeing Sudbury being dominated with cases right now. So if you look to some places like that, it's the variant, which even if you act really quickly, it still takes a good week for those numbers to actually drop.
Ryan, let's look to some of the positive, because we are seeing vaccinations, this rollout ramping up. And you've also provided a graphic here to show where we stand, the province of Ontario versus other provinces. It's getting better, but it is still a little slow, isn't it?
It is getting better. One thing to keep in mind is that at the end of April, start of May, we're going to see these vaccines ramp up in huge numbers. We should have, by about halfway through May, about 5 million doses here in Ontario. That's enough for about 1/3 of everyone here in the province, which is fantastic. So we are going to see in these next 3 to 4 weeks these huge massive vaccination sites. We're going to see the vaccine finally roll out to those who are in phase 2. My hope is that by the end of May, start of June, we can actually hit those that are in phase 2, and then we can have a summer where we finally roll it out to those in phase 3, so we have a really safe September.
As you look at this rollout and how they've categorized phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, are there any critiques that you could offer as to a segment of the population that should be included in a certain phase that isn't right now?
Yeah, for sure. So I think what's happened is that we were very slow to roll out the vaccine to those that were 80 and up. We seem to have started that over the last few weeks with more success in some public health units. But that's certainly where we dropped the ball. We're getting better with that, but we need to make sure that we really hit those populations that are most susceptible to COVID-19, that are more susceptible to die, and are more susceptible to be hospitalized. So we need to make sure that we roll that out to the right populations, starting now with the older age groups, and then moving down to essential workers.
All right, Ryan, as always, we appreciate your time and analysis, and don't think I didn't notice your beautiful new backdrop. It looks good.
Thanks for having me. Take it easy.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much. 7:10 is your time right now. We're going right back to Dina and Sid and Devo. Grammys, I'm not going to lie. I only watched a little bit. I had to go to sleep. So tired.